It is now time for us to bring to you WeFM's Midday News, coming to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Listen, I don't know how to cushion this anymore. We've been uncomfortable for a long time and you've been sagging in support. After so many rough patches, it seems we've grown so far apart. So, I'm moving on to a brand new living room set from Quartz. It's got more curves and is sectionally attractive.
Say goodbye to your old furniture and hello to new ones from Quartz.
It was just love at first sit.
Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Welcome to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Dianna Cain. In local news, the national launch of the book, The Story of Pauline Bramble, Book 1, Springs, Blossom, and the Young Thorns, written by Vincentian International Law Specialist and diplomat Dr. Richard A. Byron Cox, is set to take place this afternoon. The event, which begins at 6 p.m. at Government House, will be held under the patronage of Her Excellency Dame Dr. Susan Duggan and will feature the recognition of several Vincentian cultural contributors. The late mass designer and producer David Julian Pilling Pollard, Honorable René Batiste, Speaker of the OECS House of Assembly, Glenroy Sule Caesar, Calypsonian visual artist and poet, and Mrs. Johnny Findley, benefactor and patron of many artists, will be recognized for their outstanding contributions to culture and the arts. Dubbed Literature at Christmas, the event will feature special remarks from Dame Susan Duggan, former Deputy Foreign Minister of Cuba, Ambassador Dr. Oliver, a review of the book by Honorable Carlos James, Minister of Tourism and Culture, Her Excellency Ambassador Andrea Bowman, Accountant Mr. Kirk De Silva, author Dr. Richard Byron Cox, and a final word from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. According to Dr. Byron Cox, recognitions like these are absolutely necessary, not only as a way of showing genuine appreciation to these stalwart contributors to our culture, but to also inspire future generations to make their contribution to further enhance our culture and the arts. Tedroy McCree, a 40-year-old chauffeur of Penniston and Georgetown, was arrested and charged with multiple counts of deception. Investigations revealed that McCree dishonestly obtained a total sum of $20,550 EC dollars in cash by deceiving 3 individuals, intending to permanently deprive them of the funds. McCree was granted $10,000 bail with one surety and ordered to report to the Vermont Police Station every Tuesday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Regarding the other counts, which involved sums obtained from a resident of Beckway, the matter was adjourned and transferred to the Bayaboo Magistrates Court for hearing on January 22, 2025. The Embassy of the Republic of China on Taiwan officially handed over 5 containers of rice with a total of 10,000 sacks to the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Nerissa Gittens Macmillan, Taiwan's ambassador to SVG, Her Excellency Fiona Fan, and the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Saboto Caesar, were in attendance at the ceremony, which took place at the Taiwanese Embassy. In her remarks, Permanent Secretary Gittens Macmillan emphasized the importance of the collaboration between SVG and Taiwan. Ambassador Fiona Fan expressed Taiwan's commitment to its continuing friendship with SVG, highlighting the country's support for both immediate relief and long-term development initiatives. She noted that this is the second rice donation for the year and spoke about upcoming opportunities for Vincentians to study in Taiwan. Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Saboto Caesar, also extended his gratitude for the donation, noting that it is not just about the rice, but the love between the two countries. He acknowledged that the donation complements our food security efforts. The donation underscores the enduring partnership between SVG and Taiwan and reflects Taiwan's dedication to providing humanitarian assistance and supporting sustainable development initiatives in the region. In news of the region, a 40-year-old Trinidadian secondary school teacher has been ordered to stay 10 feet away from her two sons after being charged with 7 counts of cruelty against them. The mother is being charged with abuse, including locking her 2 young children, ages 6 and 7, in a dog kennel and a basement as punishment. The charges came after 9 months of detailed investigations by the Child Protection Unit, and she was not called upon to plea. The woman was granted $175,000 bail with surety, and the matter was adjourned to January 21st. 4 Bahamian police officers have been arraigned in the Supreme Court in connection with 2 fatal police-involved shootings, including Corporal Dennis Stirrup. Stirrup was charged with manslaughter in the May 23, 2017 shooting death of 15-year-old Gino Findley, a then 10th grade student at the Aaron Bailey Senior High School. Finley, who was unarmed, was shot in the head at a shopping plaza on Prince Charles Drive when police responded to an armed robbery in the plaza. He was suspected of being involved in the holdup. The officer pleaded not guilty when he appeared before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson last Friday, and the trial was set for May 26 to 30th, 2025. Stirrup was charged following coroner's inquest, where juries ruled the death was the result of homicide by manslaughter. In international news, a Nigerian man who has spent 10 years on death row for stealing hens and eggs has been promised a pardon by the governor. Segun Olowokere was 17 years old in 2010 when he was arrested with his accomplice Morakinyo Sunday for attacking the home of a police officer and another person with an old-fashioned wooden gun and a sword, only getting away with the poultry. In 2014, they were sentenced to death by hanging, to the horror of many Nigerians, after being found guilty of forcefully breaking, entering, and stealing, and were then moved to the Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison in Lagos, where they have been in the death row wing. In a statement on Tuesday, Governor Ademola Adeleke directed that Olowokere be pardoned as it was important to protect the sanctity of life. The governor posted, "I have directed the Commissioner for Justice to initiate processes to grant prerogative of mercy to the young man. Oshun is a land of justice and equity. We must ensure fairness and protection of the sanctity of lives." Olowokere's parents, who were recently on a podcast begging for their only child to be pardoned, human rights groups and other Nigerians have fought for his release for years. He is expected to be freed early next year. Nigeria has not carried out an execution since 2012, but there are currently more than 3,400 people on death row. And finally, in sports, India has announced that veteran spinner Ravichandran Ashwin will retire from international cricket with immediate effect. The news was announced just moments after the completion of the 3rd test between Australia and India in Brisbane. Ashwin commented, "I don't want to take too much of your time, but this will be my last day as an Indian cricketer in all formats, as in at the international level. I do feel there's a bit of punch left in me as a cricketer, but I would like to expose and probably showcase that in club level cricket, but this will be the last day and I've had a lot of fun." Ashwin most recently featured during the second test against Australia in Adelaide and finishes his career with a total of 765 international wickets from 287 matches. This has been WeFM's News in Brief. I have been your presenter, Dianna Cain. Join us at 3 o'clock when we bring to you WeFM's 3 p.m. news. WeFM's Midday News came to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Listen, I can't look at you anymore. You're just not picking up my signals. I've tried to fix things, but all I do is push your buttons. I don't think there's a remote chance of fixing this. I need clarity. I need to move on. Things can't stay static. So I'm moving on to a brand new flat screen smart TV from Quartz. It has more inches and really knows how to turn me on.
Say goodbye to your old TV and hello to a new one from Court.
I finally realized size does matter.
Court.